This year has been such an experience with a virtual internship and everything that's been different about it. When I first imagined an internship when I was younger, I would imagine that I would be doing it in person, but with the pandemic, it changed everything. That being said, that doesn't mean that I didn't have just as an equal great experience as I would in real life. One of the main things that I learned through this experience was how to video edit. My mentor, Noa Huerta, taught me really more than the basics of it. And along with that lesson, it taught me other lessons that I didn't think would be useful until now. A first lesson that I learned with video editing was actually where to find a story. If you don't have a story, you don't have a news package in the first place. Now, my mentor told me that there's stories everywhere. Stories are within the people. If we look right enough at the right places, we can find a story anywhere. We can find stories in basically social media. We don't have to wait for the biggest tragedy or biggest anything to happen because stories start with people. So, if we were to go on social media and see a person, for example, post about a missing person, such as how my mentor is doing his story on a missing person, you can contact the person that posted that missing person flyer and ask them if they were close to them, if they knew them by being a close friend, a family member, or something that links them together. By going from there, you can start asking questions to the people around them. As a journalist, you have a duty to find the angles that will go in line with the news core values and how to present it to an audience. The second thing that I've learned, not only from my internship, but also from the pandemic, is that using BRoll has changed in a couple of ways. What I mean by this is virtual interviewing has made an impact into the way that we edit BRoll into our footage. Now, I understand some of you may be wondering what BRoll is. Well, BRoll is the footage that you put on the tape when you place a voiceover. So this footage can be anywhere from a video, a picture, or a mix of both. Before COVID, reporters can go out and actually interview the person and set up a camera in different angles. These type of angles could come from doing a wide shot, a close-up, or even a medium shot. Having those different angles give a lot more variety to the B-roll that's added. But it's not only about the angles that it's taken from. It's also about the surroundings. When we were able to go out into the world and interview people in person, we got to sit down and see their surroundings. Now with virtual interviewing, we mostly just see either an office, a room, or anywhere around the person's living area. As we can see here now, my mentor Anwar has an interview with the person that's close to the subject of the story. One of the tips Anwar taught me with this was to not only rely on the one source that you're using to have the actual meeting. So for example, if you're having a Zoom meeting with the person, you can record the screen through there, but also record it through your desktop. And for a fail-safe, you can have a camera behind you recording the whole interview while you're talking to the person through the computer or the phone or the tablet. This ensures if there's any type of technical difficulty that you will have not one, not two, but 3 different sources of recording. Thirdly, I've learned that if you don't have any more B-roll, you can repeat it within the video. Now, I don't mean to repeat it if you find a certain picture or video more pretty than the other, but if you're really limited on your pictures and videos, you can repeat them. If a video is a touchy subject, that might not have the most B-roll compared to a regular story. For example, my mentor is doing a story on a girl that went missing. The only footage he really has is pictures of the young woman missing and the young woman's baby. The one person that's closest to her is her aunt. Other than that, she didn't have many other people around her. So when he interviewed the aunt, he got pictures from her of her with her niece and with the baby. Since it is focused on the idea that the woman is missing, there's not much more that can be added to it. We can try angling the story from a perspective that could bring another professional in to explain something to us. And that brings me to my next lesson. Learning how to transition pictures and videos within your video package. And in my mentor's case, he had to work with a limited amount of B-roll that he had. But the way that he made it work to not look so repetitive and like a slideshow, he worked with the transitions very well. He showed me a couple of tricks on how to do it, and I think it's really helpful. The neat thing about Premiere Pro is that it has default settings installed. So if you were to click on a video or in between two videos, you can do a right click and go all the way down where it says default settings and easily click on there and it'll already make a transition for you. As we can see here, that's what happened to Anuar's video. And lastly, through this process of learning video editing, I learned one of the biggest lessons in it yet, which is we have to get used to the idea that there might be technical difficulties that make the whole video crash or even be erased. In cases like this, there's only one thing to do, and it's really just keep moving forward. We can't just sit around and be mopey about it because it's not going to get the job done. But believe it or not, sometimes it happens for the best. Because sometimes the second time that you have to remake it comes out better than the first. You get a new set of eyes and new ways that you organize it. Overall, my experience as an intern has been a very interesting, weird, but incredibly rewarding experience. It's very different, and I've shown so much growth in the process, and that's something that can't be taken away from me.